And that's encouragement. And so it gave him some self-esteem. And, whip-de-doo, big deal. I'm not saying, hey, I did this great thing. I'm a hero. But you know what the truth is? When you encourage people and you see how it affects their life, it makes you feel kind of like a superhero. That's what I've noticed too. Encouragement promotes belief in oneself. If you encourage somebody instead of negative encouragement, let me share with you kind of what negative encouragement, because I definitely want to get to that. Negative encouragement, I have experienced this, and that's why I'm kind of passionate about this. In my previous marriage, I was married to someone who really believed in the method of negative encouragement, which means pointing out somebody's faults even before they're ready to talk about it. And then in a very serious manner, sometimes in a raised voice, sometimes in a very stern tone of voice, they're told about their issue, whatever it is, what they need to improve, what they need to change. And they're basically told, there's no exceptions. You got to make this change. You got to do it. And, if you don't, you're terrible. There's something wrong with you. It's just different people do it different ways. But it's almost like a scolding. And you know what that promotes? There's one on the list here from negative encouragement. It promotes one's feeling that they can never measure up. When you hear it constantly, you're trying, but you have a speed that you operate at. And this person doesn't have any sensitivity to that. And so they're constantly, on top of you about it. And so you can't even think. You can't even, it's certainly not an environment of growth. It's not. Negative encouragement promotes someone feeling like they're being attacked. Nobody likes to be attacked. Nobody. I guarantee the person given the negative encouragement does not like to be attacked. And I bet they don't like negative encouragement either. Anyway, I digress. So that's two encouragement. Two things from encouragement promotes good self-esteem and belief in oneself. Two things from negative encouragement, that promotes feelings that they never measure up and feelings like they're being attacked. Positive encouragement makes you feel like you don't have to defend yourself. Makes you feel, it reminds you that you're human. Just like the person talking to you is human. And in the case of someone given negative encouragement, that tells them that, hey, I'm better than you. I have the right to get mad at you and to raise my voice and to constantly remind you what you're not doing right. I have the right to do that. No, you don't. And so that person is going to defend themselves. And so naturally, the person given the negative encouragement is going to see that as denial. Well, you're just in denial. No, I'm just defending myself against you attacking me. Why don't you, I know what my problems are. I know better than you. So back up and let me deal with it. Just know that I want to overcome and that I want to make changes in my life, but not the ones that you're dictating to me. And so, it promotes that kind of self-defense. That's the way I felt. I was always defending myself. I knew what my problems were. I still know what my problems are, but now I don't have to defend myself. My wife promotes my growth by encouragement. She encourages me. She lifts me up. And I feel empowered to make all kind of changes. I've grown more in the last 4 years as a person, inside and outside, than I have my whole practically 50 years before. And man, it's quite a ride. Quite exciting. And I love it. And it's all because I'm married to someone who encourages me, who loves me enough to lift me up. And she does that. And she is a superhero to me. And that's what encouragement can make anyone feel. Especially to the person that they're encouraging. There's my computer rebooting. That's very encouraging. When you receive negative encouragement, you get your reason for improvement and change becomes based on measuring up to someone else's standards. That's the reason, that you make the change. And there's no joy in that. That's what I believe. Versus a personal choice to change and to overcome. And man, that's full of joy. That's victory. That's winning in life. Golly, I haven't experienced really much better feelings than when I have overcome or grown in certain areas, or, as things have developed in my life, I feel a newfound understanding of who I am, what my purpose is, and I feel encouraged. It's amazing. And if anything, I want you to take away encouragement from this, because encouraging is easy to do. And I know there's a lot of people that don't understand how to encourage. A lot of people will just say, well, it'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Well, those are kind words. Those are awesome words. And you know what? Those are truthful words. But they're not, at that moment, they're not that encouraging. Because, if you're telling somebody that, they're at a place to where that's really not enough. That's like baking a cake and then getting the cherry out before you put any frosting on it or sprinkles, anything. No. You got to put the frosting on that. That's the general idea. It's going to be okay. That's the idea. But there's more to it than that. And you have to make yourself available for that. And you can do it. You can be yourself. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be anybody to encourage. But it's more than just, it'll be okay. That's the general theme, but you got to get a little more technical. You got to get into it a little bit. You know, if you're not comfortable with making yourself vulnerable to this other person, to help them feel better about their situation, then that's okay. You know, you don't have to do that. And you don't have to feel bad for not doing it. But what you can do is just empathize with them. Say, hey, just at least have more conversation. Make eye contact with them. And be involved with them, at that moment. And in a lot of cases, that's all it'll be. It'll be that moment. And then, if you don't jump on it, that moment's gone. So you missed your opportunity to make your own life better. Because being someone who encourages others makes your life even better. Even if your life is great, but you're a negative encourager, if you switch that over and you become an encourager, your life's going to be even better. You will feel encouraged. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Great words, but not enough. Encouraging makes your life better. So if you can identify with them, if somebody comes or if somebody's experiencing even like an addiction or something, I bet you can, if you examine your life, you can find something in your life that you are kind of addicted to. It doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. It could be cards. It could be women. It could be addicted to watching TV, addicted to pornography. I bet you could find something to identify with this person. You don't even have to share it. You can just say, look, I really understand what you're going through, literally, okay? I've dealt with it myself. And that's all you have to say. I've dealt with it myself. And let me just tell you this, that it might take a week, it might take 3 years, I don't know. But, and then just whatever comes to your mind. You don't have to say what I say. You shouldn't say what I say. You should say what you say, what comes in your heart. The compassion, when it fills your heart, just let it pour out. And see how it makes you feel. I know how it's going to make them feel. It's going to make them feel empowered. It's going to make them feel like, you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was. Someone told me that one time. It's never as bad as you think it is. Your mind always makes it worse. Well, mine does. Be an encourager. I mean, oh my gosh. You would impact so many lives. And maybe you don't have an interest on impacting lives. So if you don't, ignore what I'm saying. Go on, don't. But if you do, if that appeals to you, the thought of positively impacting lives, others' lives, then consider becoming an encourager. And if you're already kind of encourage,